Hello, beautiful people. How are you today? I hope you're well. Welcome to another edition of my podcast, connecting with local business owner, Australian business owner to have some fun and some information for every one of you. And today I have a very, very special guest. Her name is Naomi Nahoum. Not only that she's the co-founder of Human Nurture Wellness Center, that is a 2-time award-winning holistic facial therapy and wellness business in eastern suburbs of Sydney. She's also one of my best friends. And guess what? She specializes in skin and body treatments that allow people to feel so rejuvenated, well and beautiful with her anti-aging skin treatments, acupuncture, or her husband does the acupuncture, for pain, relaxation, and massage therapy. She has been a skincare therapist for 28 years, a yoga teacher for 15 years. Oh my God, her talent is just endless. Who teaches people to relax deeply, and she created a guided relaxation CD called The Calm and Contented Mind. And she is passionate about nutrition, wellness, mental health. She is an ambassador for a not-for-profit community called Making Meditation Mainstream. But her latest business, she is excited about mentoring young women to connect to their inner self with processes that allow them to bust through self-doubt, which enables these women to be successful and empowered in their business, careers, and life. Oh my God, what is it that you can't do, Naomi? Welcome.
Thank you, Ingrid. Sorry, thank you. Thank you so much. Yeah, it's all a journey, isn't it, really? Sort of, if you're interested in personal empowerment, it's an endless field, as you know.
I know. It's like an onion, isn't it? Like you peel one layer and then you reveal a new you all over again.
Or maybe a part of you that you don't like and you have to learn to like.
Oh yeah, I know. Yeah, just like an onion, create a lot of tears.
Yeah, it's always like you say, the onion, like what's really inside. And
Yes.
it can be, yeah. And for you, you're an outstanding woman in your own right with your relationship mentoring and being a chief relaxation officer. I love that. The whole planet needs that right now.
Why be a CEO when you can be a CRO?
Well said. And a relationship coach for 11 years. Gosh, I actually didn't know that was that long already.
Yeah.
11 years, gosh. And a spa therapist, 21 years. That's where I had the pleasure of meeting you in the industry. And I'm familiar that you work in 5-star hotels and boutiques, and you really do look after highly stressed clients all over the world. I've heard a lot of your wonderful stories of saving people's, talk about mental health issues. Yeah, so also you've got the flexibility from working from home and offices and hotels and also online. So very adaptable you are.
It's a lot of business coaches say about pivot. So, okay, let's do something about that.
You're pivoting way before the word pivot came out. This pivot word's really, really needed really right now. So you're way ahead of the crowd, Ingrid. Really, you've been doing that very well. Yeah, so when you work on your singles and stressed out couples, it's quite interesting that you can combine your relaxation therapies along with all your coaching and counseling. Well, not counseling, it's different, isn't it? How would you separate counseling to coaching in relationship?
Well, I studied both, but counseling is more on the now and the past, and coaching is more on the now and the future. But because I studied counseling as well, I understand the importance of unpacking your past a little bit, but not stuck there. Because, naturally as a coach, I like to bring people towards the future and towards the life that they want.
Yeah, because I love knowing that about what you do, for you to really engage with people one-on-one to create that harmony, and obviously for them to be better in themselves to be a better couple, be a better couple, I suppose. Is that sort of your goal?
Yes, definitely. Not just couples, but also, stressed people, lonely-hearted, broken-hearted singles as well.
Gosh.
Thank you, Naomi. Now, I am curious to know, what is your why? Why is it you do what you do? I mean, you've been doing this for, 28 years. Why do you do what you do?
Oh, it's not just a simple answer. I discovered this whole journey of self through, I think, really through my family, and I sort of realized that my behaviors or habits or who I am really wasn't me. I was sort of conditioned to believe I was something and I wasn't really that. And it wasn't until I started studying skin and therapy and cells and realizing, wow, things can change, like transformation is happening every day in us. And what I soon realized is, that what you believe is what you become. So whatever you tell yourself,
Yeah.
you become that. And I didn't quite get that until I was older. Like I could see that, like all the negative thoughts I had a lot of difficulty with accepting who I was, because I didn't like who I was, because I kept getting told things from my family that are often very negative.
Right.
Like, I do it better, work harder. You're like,
Yeah.
What happened to some love? Like I felt love. Like it's interesting, and you feel loved, but the actual words coming out of your parents' mouths doesn't quite match the feeling.
Yes.
So I was very confused as a young girl. I was like, I feel loved, but yet I'm not good enough. I'm not enough.
Yes.
And I wanted to feel enough, because I felt I was enough, but people in my life never felt I was enough. I was like, this is so confusing.
Yes.
So,
I definitely can relate. Yeah, keep going.
so that feeling of not enough is really what inspired me now to get into mentoring for young women. But to come back to my why,
Yeah.
is really that it is up to us to feel we have to go in. We really do have to go in to discover our true self and discover the answers for ourselves. And so I love transformation. I love the fact that you can challenge, statements out there, like people say, you can't change the leopard spots. I believe you can. I mean, someone's nature is their nature. You're not going to change that.
Yeah.
But someone's behaviors, patterns, thoughts, values, beliefs can be changed. They're changing each and every day. Our priorities shift every day, because if you have children, they need to be doing something. You do that. That's your priority for the day.
Yes.
Your priority is self-care. That's your priority for the day. But those things can change. So I think for me, the why is, it's so empowering to know that you have the ability to change, and transformation is the reason why I love doing what I do, because I love seeing people change.
Yes.
Like,
Amazing.
satisfying, excuse me, nothing more satisfying for me personally, to see someone that has had so much self-doubt,
Yep.
and then go boom. It's like they've been reborn. It looks like a shell, the external shell, like as you said, the onion peels off.
Yeah.
And in the positive light, they're themselves. They're who they're meant to be.
Amazing.
Yeah. So,
thank you for sharing that.
but thanks. It's very inspiring for me. I think that's my big reason. Is it's the work I do, and feels like what you do is very inspiring to see people come into their true selves, and they can go and change the world, the people in their life like that themselves. It's the effect we carry each and every time we see someone.
Yes, that's right. Yeah. Never underestimate a little girl like you and me.
And the women we become from that small girl, like really owning the woman in us, the empowered woman, rather than feeling like you're not enough. You actually are, and you're more than enough. It's really, yeah. So it's and what about you, Ingrid? Tell us about your experience with your why.
Yeah, my why. Well, as you've have heard many times before. I came to from a rather dysfunctional family in Indonesia. My parents were loving parents, but well, they only knew what they knew on how to parent me. But the biggest things that I learned from them were how not to communicate with my partner. I observed them communicate with each other. So I learned something, and how shame, guilt, and how not to live myself through my child, could be very damaging. Yes, and you mentioned a lot before, not feeling good enough, not being enough, even though you know that you're something, like you're a good essence. You have good essence. So then I moved to Australia to escape from my old life and to marry my first husband. And unfortunately, it was an abusive marriage. So after 10 years and 3 attempts, I left. And I will be forever grateful for you and John, because you were there with me in my roller coaster journey during my first marriage. So I lost everything material, like my properties, my furnitures, and then I gained beautiful things such as depression and anxiety. But the best gift that I gained was I got Ingrid back, and I wouldn't change anything. No regrets. I'm grateful for my ex, learned a hell of a lot of lessons that I didn't learn in high school. And then during my healing journey, to heal myself, I attended various self-development seminars. So thanks to you as well. You directed me to the right path. Thank you. And went back to college to study counseling and life coaching. And straight away, I knew that I would be a coach and my niche would be in relationship. And now I've been married for 12 years to my second husband, and John, your husband, were my witness in my wedding, and you were my matron of honor. So we go a long way.
I'm going to feel so sick. Oh dear. Yeah.
And we have 2 kids, and during this kid bearing age, I also managed to heal my pre and postnatal depression. So as you can see, I've been through hell and back, but that's why I'm now so passionate to support, look after broken-hearted, lonely-hearted singles and loving couples to heal and strengthen their relationship, especially when they have high level of stress and some level of depression, some level of anxiety. So I can give them practical support that doesn't overwhelm them, because people like this get overwhelmed very, very quickly. And yeah, I tend to kind of like know how to get into that with fun, with some fun.
Oh.
Yeah.
We all need to laugh, and laughing's therapy in itself, isn't it?
Oh, definitely. Yes, definitely. You don't have to be so serious all the time.
That can be so serious.
The next one, Naomi, I would love to know 3 tips on why young women need mentoring.
Okay, yeah. So how I see it now is, I didn't grow up with grandparents, and my sister grew up with grandparents, and she's quite a different person in the sense where what I see is that she loved having elders around her to advise her, or just to love her, or just to guide her.
Yeah.
Because they were in another country, or Israel, and my parents came out without, I wasn't born yet. So when I was born, I was used to not just having grandparents or an extended family. So I sort of have to depend on myself for my own insights. I mean, because my parents, like your parents, did the best they could, and
Yeah.
they don't have, I feel the world that we live in, it is quite isolating now. So a mentor for a young woman these days is a bit like an affectionate elder. Someone to guide you, and who's, for number one, and for the big picture. And a mentor can see things in you that possibly you don't even know that are there, because we're so conditioned to be, in Australia particularly, not to be confident. And like, I suppose what I see now with the young women, like from 18 to 25, they're so much more confident than I ever was externally, but internally I think they're worse off because it's so externalized now. It's quite the soul. It's wonderful to see, but I really deeply feel inside they're quite empty. Generally, not everyone.
Yes, yes. So they're busy taking selfies, but that deep inside, who knows what's going on, right?
Yeah, they could be quite lonely and depressed or isolated or trouble to actually articulate how they feel. So
Yeah.
a mentor is many things. So to see their possibilities, potential, to see their capabilities, their strengths. So that's what my role really is, to actually allow them to go, actually, you're not that, you're this. This is what I see when I hear you, and I give them space to be heard. And that's another thing. A mentor enables someone to be heard, and that's what we haven't got available in our society. People don't really hear us, or we don't give time to hear people. People aren't being listened to properly.
That's right.
You know,
There's a difference between listening and hearing, hey?
Yeah, big time. Yes, yes. And it's like the listening is not just listening to what you're saying. It's like listening, like hearing what's underneath the words. Someone might be going, oh, I feel really shitty today, or I feel really down today, in a smiley way, but actually that word means so much because they're so uncomfortable saying or being vulnerable. So mentor is so many things. It's a guide, it's someone to see your potential, your capabilities, and also to be really heard, so you can be directed to an area where possibly you never known you could have stepped up to. And it's not playing small anymore. That the mentor can see that you can be this bigger person. You're capable of so much more.
Yes.
So, yeah.
Great.
Yeah.
So much for sharing.
Yeah, cute. Yeah, it's a fascinating journey, isn't it, really? The whole observation of how everything can be with a support system. Basically, we're like a support system.
Yeah.
Yeah.
That's right. I always encourage people to put their hand up for support.
Yeah, no, you do that really well. Do you find people are asking for support more, or more comfortable with asking for support in relationship?
Some people, yes. Some people still feel somewhat embarrassed in asking for professional support because they think they can do it all by themselves.
Right.
Yeah. Or they tell their girlfriends, you know, their mates, but they don't know what to say or what's the best, you know, strategy to help them.
Okay. So could I ask you what would be one of your tips to say, how can I learn to speak up when I need for help? Like, how do I rephrase it so it's clearer? So if I'm struggling in relationship, I'm one of those people, not saying I am, but if I was one of those people struggling, how would I feel more comfortable to come to someone like you?
Well, simply to open up, you know, to open up, to acknowledge number one, oh, hey, I have some issues. And then understand that some other people may not be equipped to respond accordingly. And getting a professional support can be very, very helpful. Yes, your girlfriend can listen to you. Yes, your family member can listen to you, but then they projected their own their own value system that may not suit you at this particular time of your life. So whereby a professional can have a look at you objectively because they're not in the situation that you are in, you know, because your maybe girlfriend or family members can be biased towards something because they're so close to you. So it's great to have a fresh viewpoint or objectives looking at what you're experiencing at the moment.
Yeah, as you say, it takes some people a lot to step up and ask, I need help. And then
That's right.
yeah.
Yes, yes. However, I do have 3 tips, relationship tips for your tribe. Yeah, you mentioned one time that during this pandemic lockdown, people are going stir crazy and they try to, ask their partner's every move. It's like, oh, where are you going? What are you doing now? So my tip for that is number one, letting go of control. I know that this is a very changing and challenging time. You feel that you're out of control of whatever's going on. And the only person that you can control, you may feel, is your partner. So if he or she is going out, it's like, oh, why are you leaving me? Slight panic.
Yes.
So letting go of control, because then your partner may feel suffocated and may feel kind of like, oh my God, are we going to become one of those domestic violence couple because you are over controlling me? So, and to deal with that, number two is to communicate openly. Say to each other, oh, I feel lonely if you leave me, or the other partner that may feel that, oh, you're over controlling me. Just communicate openly that when you keep asking me, where am I going? What am I doing? I feel attacked, like you don't trust me. So just trust me. I am going to the supermarket, since we can't go, too many places right now.
Yeah.
I'm not going to visit my next boyfriend or anything like that. I'm just going to walk the dog or going to the supermarket, right? And then number three, my tip would be have a mind-blowing sex, because it's like, baby, come to me, I'm here, take advantage of me, might as well. At least you know where I am.
Hilarious.
So those are my tips.
A bit sexier.
So, audience, now this is the fun part of our podcast, is the true or false statement. Naomi gave me two statements. We need to guess which one is true. Naomi loves nature, animals, travel, and adventure so much. She swam with a wild dolphin in the middle of the Red Sea in a beachside town called Dahab outside of Egypt. And then the second one, Naomi loves nature, animal, travel, and adventure so much. She swam with sharks inside a cage in Western Australia at Nigloo Reef. Oh, which one? I'll choose number one, because I knew that at one time you were traveling the world, and I think you went to Egypt as well. So maybe one.
Very good.
Yeah. Okay. What's the story around that?
Yeah, so a bit of a story. So basically I just met John and my mum, we needed to go to Israel back to our grandparents. I had some business to tie up with my dad, who was there.
Yeah.
I decided to stay on as my mum came back to Australia, and I went on an adventure of fruit picking, what they call agricultural experience.
Yeah.
Experience. So I worked on what they call a moshav, which is a farm. I spent about 3 months on one area and needed a break because it's like 7 days a week. It's pretty intense work in 49 to 50 degrees heat. And all the local Israelis and travelers would go to this place called Dahab, which is you go out of Israel into the Egyptian border, go into Egypt, and it's a seaside paradise. It's insanely beautiful. You're right on the Dead Sea. It's very simple living. You're just in a shanty shack.
Yeah.
I was just hanging out with my farm friends, and a local little child came up to me and said, "Would you like to go swim with a wild dolphin?"
Wow.
Wow, is this a trick? Like, that's been a dream. Like, I didn't want to go to an adventure park or a Sea World, or I was like, really? And then I was like, is there a trick? It's just 3 Egyptian pounds. I'm like, that's like $3. Like,
Oh, nice.
so cheap. I was like, okay. A bit naive, but it was all safe. We all went along, got our way there, put on our goggles, and they had a dinghy out in the middle of the ocean, and they were getting calamari, and that's how they called her in, this wild dolphin.
Ah.
So you just go in as you would, from the sand into the shallow, into the depths, swim right out, and she just came towards me. And I went back the next day, had another experience. I got a photo with her, hugging her. I've actually got it still, and I'm hugging this dolphin, and we're like having a moment.
Oh, wow. Do you still have that photo?
I do.
Oh, beautiful.
Yeah, I saw it last night actually when I was thinking of this experience.
Yeah. Post it on Facebook.
Okay. My dolphin experience. Yeah, so that was my but I did go to Ningaloo Reef, and I swam with a wild whale shark. Yeah, not sharks. Yeah, and Ingrid, your little fun true and false is Ingrid likes to eat quinoa as it's healthy and yummy, or Ingrid likes to eat duck's heads and it's healthy and yummy. I know you too well.
So which one, Naomi?
Duck head.
You are correct. In fact, I am allergic to quinoa, so there's no way I'm having quinoa. Yeah, so number one, I'm allergic to. And then number two, yes, funny story, eating duck head in front of my brother-in-law, my new brother-in-law, as you know, we got married in Bali, you were there as well. And Michael, my brother-in-law, and mom, we went to lunch one day, and then I ordered this bebek betutu called, it's a duck dish in Bali, so that's their traditional dish. And first I went to the head and savor that, you know, quickly, 5-10 minutes, the head didn't look like head anymore. It's just like strips of of little bones. And then he was just like, oh. And he said, oh, that poor little duck.
Oh, that's hilarious.
Yes, it was very yummy. And I'm sure it's healthy just because it's protein, that's all. Ah, cool.
There's good fats.
So yummy. So people, thank you so much for watching this and listening to our collaboration. We hope that you learn a thing or two about practical things that you can do to your current living situation, make it better and more fun, and learn, you know, this time a little bit deeper about your personal growth and connecting with your inner self. And we hope that you understand that what we do by now. So if you need more support, especially if you're young women, how old do you think is your perfect avatar is?
18 to 30, really. It's a bit of a broad one, but 18 to 30. Yeah.
Okay, so especially if you're 18 to 30 year old woman, connect with Naomi. She knows a lot, she experienced a lot, and she can support you in that way, especially if you're interested in the beauty industry as well, because she's a master in that. So connect more with Naomi, and if you need some help with your stress level and your relationship issues, please connect with me. Just remember, you don't have to wait until you're on the verge of a divorce to see a relationship coach. Yep, prevention is better than cure. So our links will be on the post. You're most welcome to stalk us online. You can check us out, definitely. No threats, but you can check us out. And I look forward to connect with you next time. I have more informative, fun, uplifting chat just like this one, because I really believe that this is the perfect time for us to connect. So keep well and lots of love.
Thank you, Ingrid.
Thank you. Bye, Naomi.
Thanks for today. Bye.